Hey guys, it's Adi. I'm back with another video. I don't know, I'm just not like in the mood for some reason. I don't know if this is not a good intro, but okay, I'm just gonna be honest. I'm not in a good mood right now. I'm not. So I genuinely am not in a good mood. And I wish I could do something about it. I don't know if it's the weather, you know, that is putting me in this mood. But I'm not in a good mood right now. I don't really want to dwell on that though, because there's nothing that you guys could do for me right now. Yeah. So you know what? I decided to just use this opportunity to maybe like rant. You know, I don't know if this channel is gonna consist of me just ranting, you know. That really wouldn't be my intention. That isn't my intention, and that wouldn't be something that I would be proud of. But if it turns to that, it is what it is.
It is what it is. It is what it is.
I decided like to just share with you guys my pet peeves when it comes to reading books, romance books especially. I have a lot of these pet peeves, yeah, and I've made a video like this before, but I privatized it, or I made it private because it wasn't good. Yeah, it wasn't good. But since then, I made that video like maybe like 2 years ago, probably like 2 years ago. I feel like my opinions, they've kind of changed, obviously from reading books and stuff, and like, yeah, so in a way I've kind of like changed. And also there isn't much of a difference because I still stand firm in my beliefs regarding some romance books. So I know this was a long intro, and it's almost like I'm cooking. Like, I'm just like, I can't wait to give you guys, you know, what I got. Basically, I got a lot of things to get off my chest. Okay, so we're just gonna start off nice before you see, you know, what's to come. I'm not sure of my brows, if I like it. My skin is just a wreck, guys. My brows, they look like cousins. I just hate that. They're supposed to be twins, but they look like cousins. I don't like this video already. Okay, we're gonna start off with my first pet peeve, and that is, obviously, I mean, I think this is everyone's, but some people, they can like handle it. The first one is poor editing. Okay, I can take errors, just a tiny few errors, cute errors here and there, you know, something that seems like a typo, or it's just something that, you know, it's understandable, a small error, you know, even if it's like, I guess, every 10 pages, you know, that's understandable. Like, something that, noticing it, you'll be like, ooh, that's an error, you know. The surprise, there's that element of surprise in noticing it, because the book overall is just so good. But if it comes to a point where I'm just like, this is really not a surprise anymore, you know, then that's when it's an issue, you know. I came from an era in reading Wattpad books, and obviously Wattpad books, they were notoriously written by people like you and me, people who aren't really authors. I guess you could say amateurs, you know, not all of them, because there were a few that, you know, were really good, were really good writers, you know, even some professional. I came across Colleen Hoover on Wattpad. So my point is, yeah, is that coming from a place like Wattpad, it was like, it was kind of expected to come across errors, like grammatical errors, you know, vocabulary, you know, errors in that sense, because it was just like, they're amateurs, you know, and it was kind of giving them grace in a way, you know, because if the book was good, then that could just be overlooked. So that's what I'm saying. Poor editing sometimes to me can be overlooked. Obviously I don't read books on Wattpad anymore, so I do have a high standard when it comes to, you know, reading books. If I see like one nonsensical error there, and this is like someone who's supposed to be like, you know, professional writer, then it's bothersome. But even then I could actually withstand that, like if the content was really good, like if the storyline was really good, if it was just like a small error, like something understandable, then it will be fine. So poor editing is technically not a pet peeve, but there's levels to it basically. So I'm starting off nice, guys. All right. All right, we're heading straight into enemy territory with this one. All right, bad book covers. Is it just me, or like the saying, don't judge a book by its cover? Come on now. We all judge books by its covers. Like, we all do it. We judge people by their covers. We have eyes, you know. Sight is important. Sight is what, you know, stops you from eating shit, right? It stops you from like entering a space, entering bad situations. So it's actually necessary to judge a book by its cover. I live by that. I stand by that 100%. So when I say bad book covers, I mean like covers like this you know, it's to each their own, in it, you know. I might not like it, but you might like it, right? Bad book covers, to me, I feel like it's just the covers that kind of remind me of like the Mills and Boon, you know, type. My mom used to read those. Like covers where it looks cheap, no imagination. Or the worst ones there are the ones where there's too much imagination, where there's too much thought into how it looks. We can tell that that's where all the energy went into, not the book itself, not what's in the book itself. Like, it just looks too done up, too good to be true, basically. We all know that saying. So bad book covers, definitely a pet peeve of mine. I could go on and on and on about bad book covers and why they deter me from, you know, reading certain books. So we're gonna move on to the next. This is gonna be a quick video if you can't tell. Okay, so what I got next is age difference. Age differences in romance books. I mean, I used to read books like this as a kid, growing up on Wattpad, you know, because I guess people have a fetish for these types of situations. You know, people love age gaps, you know, especially pertaining to a man who was older with a woman who was like, you know, sometimes she ain't even a woman, like legally, you know. Yeah, so that kind of situation. And it's like, people really have a fetish for that. And it does, the thing is, yeah, is that situations like that, relationships like that actually exist, probably a lot, you know. Like our parents, you know, they came from that kind of relationship, they are in that kind of relationship, you know. And sometimes, I mean, I feel like most of the time it's very unpleasant, You know, you can see age gaps, you can see like the flaws in them kind of relationships. You don't even need the microscope. You can see that them flaws like so clearly in them kind of relationships, because the man is always like years mentally ahead, mentally, just emotionally, you know, however, in all capacities, the man is always like more mature. And you just wonder why, like, what attracted him to this girl, to this woman. Probably the fact that she is not legal, you know. When it comes to Wattpad romance books, or even books on Kindle, it's just so clear that there's something seedy, something unpleasant going on, you know, something illegal going on. So I'm not really into reading age differences. I feel like age differences, you can make them good when it makes sense how this came to be. You know, I can't really explain it, but sometimes age differences, it works in the real world, and you can make that shit work. You can make that work in, you know, in books. But most of the time, in my opinion, from experience, it's just an unpleasant read. I'd rather not have an age difference. If you can avoid it, please. And in most of the time, you can avoid it. So, yeah. My next pet peeve is secretary to boss roles. This kind of has the same implications as what I've mentioned before regarding age differences. Secretary to boss roles, there's always that authority with the man, and it almost like doesn't translate well when he gets with, you know, or when he interacts with the female secretary, you know. It just doesn't translate well. You don't really, the interactions almost kind of like there's that power imbalance, you know. And most of the time the female secretary, the woman is always years younger, you know. So like I said, there's like something seedy going on. Like, it's just not like a nice read, and I'm just really tired of those roles, because it's almost like formulaic. People love seeing a woman beneath a man.
That's what she said. Michael.
And they always make her so plain. You know, there's nothing wrong with that, because most people in this world are plain. I'm a plain Jane. Yeah, but it's almost like she finds her worth through that man's attraction towards her. It's like, please. Please, come on. You will fine without him, you know. And yeah, like that power imbalance is always present in them kind of roles. You know, the same would be said if the genders were reversed, you know. But I've never really read a book where the woman is the boss and the man is the secretary. I mean, I don't really, that obviously doesn't reflect real life. That isn't the case in real life most of the time. But it would be interesting if I read a book like that. But like I said, situations like this is very predictable, concerned with roles like this, the secretary and the boss. I'd rather not read it. So speaking of rather not read, I'd rather not read a mafia boss book, romance book, because like I said, there is always these elements of age gap, like large substantial age gap. Maybe the woman is like secretary, well, not secretary, but she has a lower role than him. Like, she could be the secretary, she could be the nanny, she could be just someone who doesn't have that much authority as the man, you know. And so like I said, there's always that power imbalance, you know, going on, and I just like can't get with it. Like, I don't like it. It's uncomfortable to read. it's just, you can see the fetishization. Yeah, and that's my issue with reading mafia books in general, mafia romance novels in general, because there's just that seediness, you know. That word is quite used a lot, you know. But it's true. There's something like just ugh, like ugh.
Ugh. Brother, ugh. What's that?
Yeah, and you know, the legalities, there's always something illegal going on, and I know illegal stuff happens all the time and stuff, but let me ask you guys, why are the female characters, why are they so whipped over the man when he clearly is a criminal? Mafia bosses are criminals, but the woman is always so
pick me, choose me, love me.
Is just so enamored by the guy, even if she witnessed him killing a whole family. People, like, you can't make this up. This could just be my experience from reading poorly written books, but the man is never humanized. He's just some kind of robot that kills people, likes to, you know, and somehow he's obsessed, because there's always that element of obsession, you know, obsession, possessiveness, you know, kind of caveman, and the woman is supposed to be attracted to that. I just don't get it. Like, I don't get it. Like, all these characters that we see in like movies like this, I think it was 365 Days.
Are you lost, baby girl?
Christian from 50 Shades of Grey.
Two things. First, I don't make love. I fuck. Hard.
And the second thing.
Boy, if you don't get
there are other movies in the media that portray male characters like this, and it's just not cute. I'm not attracted to them because they are committing crimes. They should be in prison, not in your bed, honey.
and
They shouldn't. Like, they should be in prison. And if you want him so bad, then maybe you can join him there too. But you guys are not sleeping peacefully in bed together. That's my issue, like, with storylines like this, you know. It's just like, they make the female character so flat, right? Just one note. Just so, like, enamored by him. She wants no one else but him. You know, she's such a damsel in distress. She is somehow blinded to the crimes going on. And the guy is one note too in just the caveman activities. You know, it's not cute. And it's boring. So, next. Yeah. I'm not reading it. All of what I mentioned, except for the poor editing, the bad book covers, okay, except for those two, right? The age difference, secretary to boss roles, the mafia boss, right? They all just come together to form like one of my biggest pet peeves in romance books. I don't know if it's just romance, because romance is basically all I read, but I feel like this can translate to all genres, right? This pet peeve of mine is unrealistic storylines. I really hate unrealistic storylines. Something that I generally just can't see happening in real life, or a caricature of like a person being made to be some kind of character that I'm supposed to root for, that I'm supposed to like, that I'm supposed to empathize with. Like I said, with the mafia boss situation, right? Mafia situation in general, right? You make a character, a female character, who is like so attracted to a mafia boss. She's got nothing going on for herself. She's just so like focused on him that she can't see past him. She can't see the crimes that is going on, or she can see it but she just doesn't care, you know, because she's got her man, because she wants her man. That's all she wants. She doesn't want redemption. Okay, so I can go on and on about this one note character, this one note type of female character, and the one note type of male mafia boss character going on. If you can't seem to humanize these people, because these people do exist in the real world, right? You got, you know, you got real mafia boss out here like doing the madness, you know. But if you can't actually make them 3D, not even 3D, because I'm more than 3D, like, yeah, if you can't make them resemble real life people, then I don't want to read it. I don't want to read it. So that comes into realism, you know. Make realistic characters, make realistic plot lines. When it comes to the plot lines, right? Okay, so we can link that to, you know, the age differences. How is a 30-year-old man, maybe even sometimes approaching 40, how does he get with, or how is he mixing spaces with a girl who is, you know, like maybe in her early 20s max? Because they really do love this, you know, teenage girl, this type of Lolita stick going on. I don't get it, but it happens, you know. It is popular, you know. How do they get these two people to interact? There's never like a plot line that I read that kind of like it shows the stakes, because there's always stakes. There's always high stakes when it comes to these relationships. There's always consequences when it comes to these relationships. You can't tell me that this relationship will end in a happy ending. It won't. It won't. And if it does, there's always gonna be things that, you know, barriers, you know, obstacles. I won't even call these things obstacles, because these things do need to happen, in my opinion. Because this is just not, this ain't right. This ain't right. When I talk about unrealism, like, well, you know, unrealistic storylines, I just really, like, I can go on and on about this, because it doesn't just relate to, you know, huge age differences between the male and the female, mafia. It doesn't. I just in general, if I'm reading a story, if I'm reading like a love story, I don't want to see a whole bunch of mess that can't be explained. That there are there's like plot holes, you know. There's something not adding up. There's something not adding up. There's 1 + 1. I'm not seeing 2. I'm seeing 1,000. Like, I'm seeing that and it's just not making sense. I just want to leave. Exit.
V, I did not see her on the sheet. If 2 + 2 is 4, right? And 5 + 5 is 10. Okay. What the fuck is this?
You know, like, yeah. I just really hate when that happens. You know, I really hate it. Because when I read romance novels, I want to feel like I'm seeing something that could happen to me. Or even not to me. To someone that I'm... To someone literally that I may know. Like, I just want to see this happening. I want to feel like these characters breathe, you know, and live life. Yeah, like, I could go on and on. And like, I do, you know, luckily I do come across authors who do make those type of books, but unfortunately I feel like they're just kind of, they're not as promoted as the ones that are just, you know, bullshitting us, you know. Sad to say, but it's the truth. So those are my pet peeves. If you guys were not satisfied with this video, just let me know, because I could give you a whole banging list, all right, of my pet peeves. I feel like I've kind of like calmed down from the beginning of this from the beginning of this video. As you know, you guys know, I was in a sucky mood but I feel like I can say now that I've kind of like calmed down, you know. Yeah, I've kind of calmed down. So I do appreciate the help, guys. I guess you did help me in some way. But yeah, it was fun talking. I would like to see you guys again, so don't make this a habit of, you know, of not showing up, please. But yeah, you did put a smile on my face, so see ya.